Good morning, hello. I'm making this video in order to respond to a message sent to me by an English friend on Facebook. I'm reading you the title. I think I am not sexy and smart enough. What can I do in order to be more attractive? Now I'm reading you a summary of this message. I think I am not sexy, small boobs, etc. That's why guys don't like me. When I see myself in a mirror, I also don't like my face shape and the quality of my skin. Even worse, I don't feel smart enough comparing myself to what most of my friends have accomplished. Every time I go out with my boyfriend, but also with friends, I don't know what to wear. I change my mind so many times before choosing, and even then I am not sure. Can you please give me some tips on how to deal with all that stuff? Let's see what things make you suffer. You don't feel sexy. You think you are not attractive. You don't like your physical appearance. You feel frustrated when you compare yourself with others because you think that they are capable of doing things you can't. In a word, you totally dislike yourself, which means that your self-esteem is very low. So, without self-confidence, there is no way any clothing can make you feel better. Because you blame yourself all the time, you are afraid that the others are going to do the same thing by criticizing you. Using psychological terms, I can say that you are vulnerable to the gaze of others. Parents who are themselves vulnerable to the gaze of others, always anxious about what others are going to say, that happens very often here in Greece, raise children who are also vulnerable to the gaze of others. Parents shaming their children for insignificant reasons in front of others instead of motivating them make them feel bad about themselves. When this is repeated, children develop a negative sense about themselves and continue carrying that negative self-image even in adulthood. Nevertheless, I have to remind to you that the way we are affected by our parents has to do with our own personality. We don't all react in the same way, which means that we are not affected in the same way. Introspection and self-awareness can be very helpful. Learning to deal with our own issues needs time, persistence, and patience. If you cannot do it yourself, no problem. Ask for help from a psychologist. So first of all, you don't feel sexy. In your own opinion, what are the characteristics of a sexy woman? Have you received negative comments from men, or all these are your own thoughts? We all know that beauty standards have evolved significantly throughout history. Fortunately, all men are not attracted to the same type of women. Here in Greece, I know men who are afraid of sexy women, which means that they would like to have a sexy mistress, but a modest wife. According to some traditional social stereotypes, a sexy woman has large breasts, full round buttocks, fleshy lips, and a curvy body. In reality, fitted clothes, high heels, short skirts, and abysmal necklines don't make you really sexy. We have to distinguish pretending to be sexy through one's appearance from feeling sexy that has to do with our inner self. Feeling sexy is a state of mind. In order to feel sexy, one must have confidence in himself, that is, a healthy self-esteem. Healthy self-esteem means that you accept yourself without considering yourself as perfect. Acceptance is the key word. It's not easy to feel sexy if you were brought up in a family where sex was seen as something kind of taboo. And of course, the adjective sexy has to do not only with physical emotions, but with emotional ones. For this reason, certain personality traits, such as being full of life, understanding, loving, respectful, can certainly add to your sex appeal. Last but not least, it's also, and most important, being seductive when you make love, not only at the beginning of a relationship, but as time passes by. Here, a state of mind is involved. Now, as far as you are concerned, because we are friends on Facebook, I can see your photos. You have a slender, athletic body that many women would like to have, but not a curvy one. You look nice, pleasant, healthy, strong, with a genuine smile. According to me, you look more like a cute girl than a sexy woman. But if you keep inside you the cute girl, as time passes by, it will take you years. That means that you will always look younger. Acceptance, my dear, does not mean resignation. Acceptance is reconciliation with ourselves. Modern culture emphasizes on what can be seen, the external part of ourselves. But if we want to really feel good, we have to turn to our inner self, to our inner world, in order to get to know ourselves better. Our external appearance will definitely change, but our inner self will always be present. I also would like to make a brief reference to the role of influencers, not to blame them, but in order to understand how things work. Here are some theoretical aspects. Our personality is structured through identification with our significant others, parents, teachers, peers, etc. Albert Bandura, a Canadian-born American psychologist who died recently this year, proposed the social learning theory, emphasizing the importance of observing, modeling, and imitating the behaviors, attitude, and emotional reaction of others. Thus, behavior is learned from the environment through the process of observational learning. It is more likely to imitate behavior modeled by people of the same gender. So, boys imitate men, girls imitate women. In other words, the first and most important influencer of our life are our parents, and of course all the significant others of our environment. Parents who compare their children to others and judge them for being different without realizing it, they lower their self-esteem. Those children start to believe that others are better than themselves. What these parents should do, they should help their children in order to get to know themselves, to accept themselves, to learn how to manage their weak points by using their strong points, but without saying lies to themselves. In one word, they should observe and guide them in order to be themselves. The psychology of influence is effective because most of us have been trained to listen to the authorities. That means persons with power and control, such as parents and teachers. So people are prone to accept and follow the recommendation of the influencer without questioning them. It is very important to have the capacity to distinguish what is authentic and what's fake. Unfortunately, people are not always aware that they are being influenced. Influence is most of the time unconscious. People who spend time scrolling through social media think that if many people are doing something, then it must be the right thing to do. Others compare themselves to pictures they see, which leads to self-doubt, insecurity, and of course anxiety. But why do we want to be like others? By copying and imitating others, we expect to be accepted and validated. To conclude, there is no harm in being informed or inspired by an influencer, unless you follow him or her blindly without thinking for yourself. In that case, you risk losing yourself. If you let go that need for approval, you will feel free to be yourself. And we all have to remember that we are all unique in our own way. Coming to the end, I send you best wishes for the upcoming Christmas. Bye-bye.